more people will be there with the genetic counseling degree. So that's why there will be a switch. The number will switch in the future, where more and more people will come from like yourselves from a science undergraduate degree, and then they will they will come and join the force. So to answer Charles' question, the other route that is provided by the NHS is called a clinical training service for genomics. In our region closer to Salford, Manchester University provides that course. So NHS has basically included a number of universities across the UK who are accredited to provide that course. That is paid for, so you don't have to pay any fee, but that's very limited seats. So just to give you an example, this year University of Manchester had 15 positions, I think, and they received 1,500 applications. Okay, so it's extremely competitive, but this is one of the best programs, and that is smaller in duration, 1 year, but they teach you a very condensed course on genomics and clinical side of things. Okay, again, some of the people I know from our university who have graduated this year, and some of the people from other universities that I know, they applied. None of them I know got through. So it's extremely competitive, which is why you might have a better chance going to Cardiff or the Glasgow route. But just for you to know, if you are in the Greater Manchester region, then Manchester University every year recruits between 15 to 20 people who can also become a genetic counselor. That's the best one, the most prestigious one, but also the one that is hardest to get. Okay, the number of seats are restricted in that program by Manchester University and other universities. Basically, this program is from NHS. The number of positions are restricted, and it changes every year. The reason is, whoever gets into that program is guaranteed to have a job with NHS as genetic counselor at the end of the course. Okay, so they advertise the number of vacancies based on the number of job vacancies. Okay, so that's why it is the most in demand, as you can imagine. So if you get into the course, you are guaranteed to have a job as a genetic counselor in the NHS at the end of the program. Okay, so that will tell you why there are 1,500 applications for 15 positions. Yeah, so I will encourage you to keep that as your aim, right? So that even if you don't get it, you will be still good enough to get into other programs. Okay, so now these are the most obvious and prestigious rules to get in. Yes, it is the STP program, Nadia. It is the STP program, Scientific Training Program for Clinical Science. Yes, Nadia, you are right. Actually, I did not say it right in the first go. It is the STP program for clinical scientists. The name was actually different a couple of years ago. Now this is the name. So thank you for putting the correct name. And as I said, I am mentioning Manchester University with the assumption that people who are on this call will be interested in options around Greater Manchester. But as Mfon told me that she's in Italy, so that made me aware that some of you might be interested in other regions. So please check by the name that Nadia put on the chat, STP Program for Clinical Scientists. If you are interested in the UK, and if you give your region that you are interested in, you should find another university closer to your region. Okay, so that's the most straightforward route. So Cardiff and Glasgow, MSc in genetic counseling, which is 3 years part-time, and you need volunteering experience for at least 6 months in a caring role. And after that, you have to give a portfolio to GCRB, and that qualifies you. Or the STP program for clinical scientists that I explained. Now, if none of these work out, what are the other routes? The other routes are, and these are not very formal, This I know because of my interest in this area for last couple of years. The first one is there are a few universities. So University of Birmingham is one I remember. There might be others. They offer a 1-year MSc, the regular MSc in that in the UK, in genomic medicine. Okay, the 1-year MSc in genomic medicine. That so the Birmingham one in Birmingham has one module of that, which is on genetic counseling. So that genomic medicine MSc program, full-time 1 year, the standard MSc program, have one module on genetic counseling, and that module is accredited by the Genetic Counseling Board. Okay, that module is accredited by GCRB. So if you do that module, complete that MSc, and then join a genetic counselor as a trainee, and then build your portfolio, that can also make you a genetic counselor. But obviously, because it is not an MSc in genetic counseling, so the number of credits you will get will be smaller than the genetic counseling MSc. So you will have to work longer to build your portfolio as a trainee. Okay, so just logical way. So that is another route. There's one other route, what Charles said. I think Charles left the session, but what Charles mentioned, that he wants to do a PhD. So if you want to do a PhD in genetics or genetic counseling, of course you have to find a supervisor who can guide you to that. Now that those hours that you spend in your PhD, 3 or 4 years, can be counted in your portfolio, in your caring role as a genetic counselor in your PhD, and that can add to your portfolio. And after the PhD, if you continue working as a trainee under the supervision of a certified genetic counselor, that can add to your portfolio, and that can qualify you as a genetic counselor. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Charles. Yeah, I kind of guessed that your internet is cutting out. I think Sarah has popped in and started the recording. So last 5 minutes will be recorded, and if there's any question in the future, you can ask me and I can answer. So now I'll pause again and see if there is any more questions, or if Charles, if you didn't hear me, I can repeat. Just let me know. And to know more, obviously I don't expect you to remember everything I'm speaking now. A training program in Charles, a training program, if you see just above. Yes, so Nadia put the name above in the chat, STP program for clinical scientists. Okay, and usually from Manchester, I know the deadline is around February for a start in September. Okay, other universities might have different deadlines, but that's the Manchester deadline is around February. So what I was saying is that, of course, I don't expect to remember everything that I'm speaking. Part of it is be recorded. Your first starting point, a good starting point, would be to go to GCRB website. I'll put the link on the chat. GCRB website, they have details of how can you get registered, how can you build your portfolio. They have all these details on their website. So spend time on their website to know. So they will have every information, and you can also ask them for any information that you if you have a query, they will answer your query. So that will be a good starting point. They also have links to these accredited MSc programs in Cardiff and Glasgow that I mentioned. You can of course get in touch with Cardiff and Glasgow directly. You can get in touch with NHS, but GCRB is the best place where all the information is organized in one place. So do your research there first. You should have all the information. It's not straightforward, it's complicated. They are trying to simplify the process, and it's also, as I said before, it takes longer. So that discourages some people, because of course you have to kind of plan for 3 to 5 years of not earning substantial amount of money before you get accredited as a genetic counselor. but it can be very, very rewarding if you can afford that time and patience after your undergraduate degree. Now waiting for if you have further questions. Okay, so I'm getting that everything I said is clear. So some of you asked me before, not the ones on the call, but others have asked me before that what about Salford offering something? So I actually created a program on genetic counseling back in 2019, which got approved. It was a 1-year postgraduate diploma, not a full MSc, but it was a 1-year postgraduate program where we were supposed to, our school and us, our team, were supposed to teach the genomics and genetics, and psychotherapists and counselors from the School of Nursing and Health Sciences were supposed to teach you the counseling role. So all were fine. We were about to recruit in 2020 September, but then the pandemic hit, and that program did not recruit. At the moment, that program is unlikely to pick up again. We are planning, we don't know when it will happen. We are planning to convert that into a genomic medicine master's, like the one in Birmingham I mentioned. And then if we do that, there'll be one module on genetic counseling, which will try to get accredited by the GCRB. But that's the plans, but I cannot make any promises and guarantee that when it will start or whether it will start. It's a lengthy process. To make that program, I had to work for 2 years from 2017 to 2019, and that did not go through. I have not lost hope. I'll try again, but it's not a guarantee that by the time you will graduate, this course will be live. But just to let you know that Salford also is planning to launch something similar. MSc in genetic counseling would take much longer time, and for that we need staff members who are genetic counselors, which we do not have, but which is possible. The pandemic has kind of ruined the plans. Which is possible is to have a MSc in genetic medicine, genomic medicine, where one module will be on genetic counseling. So that's what we are planning now. If we launch that, of course, you will get to know. And of course, that will be one other option in addition to all the other options I mentioned. Okay. Now it's over to you guys. I think I have told you everything I know. If you have any other questions directly or indirectly related to this, feel free to ask. I don't know how long this session is supposed to be. Is it for 1 hour? Do you any guys know? Okay, I mean, I'm not in any rush, so it's not that I have to leave in 10 minutes or something like that. So I'm happy to answer if you have questions. Okay, good to know, Nadia. Yeah, Bahare, I also hope so. An hour, okay. Yeah, so we still have 10 minutes. That means 10, 15, 15, 20 minutes almost. 20 minutes. So we have plenty of time. So you can think and, oh, all questions are answered. Good. Yes, of course. Of course, you can email me for any questions. Do you have, I hope you have my email, or you can find my email. I'll put it on the chat in case you don't. You can email me. Yeah, so but remember, whatever route you take, I think given your undergraduate programs and your current level, I think the best thing you could do is signing up with the charity as a volunteer in a caring role. The more experience you have, the better are your chances to get enrolled in one of these programs. Any program who has something to do with genetic counseling after your graduation, so postgraduate program, would ask that question, that what experience do you have in caring role? So that is probably the first thing you should think of, you should plan for if you are seriously thinking about this as a career. Even if not, that will be a great experience. Even if you don't want to become a genetic counselor, that will become a great experience anyway, as a care in a caring role. So do that, and then look carefully at the GCRB website, so that you know the exact details. That is by the board. What does genomic medicine course involve? You mean what other modules are there? You can just nod. I can see you on the camera. Yeah. So it's, I don't remember all the modules, and it will change from one university to the other, right? And also remember, all universities that offer a genomic medicine MSc does not have an accredited genetic counseling module. Okay, remember that. Birmingham has, and I think two other universities also has a genetic counseling module, a part of genomic medicine MSc. The two other universities I can't recall at the moment, but I remember because I spoke to the person who teaches in Birmingham, so that's how I remember. So what does it involve? It will involve, of course, some genomics, some cell biology. So it will be a standard MSc, which will be a continuation of your undergraduate degree. But for this particular session, only thing to remember that the genetic counseling module, if it is accredited by GCRB, then that credit, it's a 20 or 30 credit module, that credit will count towards your portfolio as a genetic counselor. So if you are asking, so if you found a university which has a genomic medicine MSc and they say that they have a module on genetic counseling, the question that you should ask them is it accredited by GCRB? Okay, then that many credits will count towards your portfolio. Bahari is asking, can I ask you about the other course related to genetics, like machine learning? Yeah, of course you can ask. That's a data science, so you have probably done that as part of human genetics module this year. So to go to machine learning, you have to then get into an MSc in data science, or MSc in machine learning, MSc in genome informatics. I don't know which university does that, but something like that will get you towards that line of work, machine learning or data science line. Okay, Charles, good to have you here. So yeah, so that would be another route. Okay, and if you are happy with what you learned today and you have no further question, feel free to leave. If you have questions, as I said, I'll hang around until 12 o'clock, so it's fine. Okay, good, good. I'm glad to hear that it is useful. Okay, I can see, Adam, you're thinking. That's fine. I'm here. We have a data science MSc in Salford. Um, you should look for somebody called Mo Sari. I'm putting his name on the chat. So Mo Sari, he is the program leader for data science in MSc. So you might want to get in touch with him to know the possibilities in that particular program. But we don't have a genome informatics in Salford at the moment. Portfolio mentioned will mostly the things we do are part of potential MSc or something. Or no, so Adam, the portfolio is starts after you complete your postgraduate degree. Okay, so it is like if you know the process to become a nurse or process to become a biomedical scientist, after you have your basic degree, undergraduate or postgraduate, you have to then develop a portfolio that shows your experience as a practitioner, right? So for genetic counseling, as much as I am aware, is that after you have that basic degree, which can be an STP, which can be MSc in genetic counseling, after that basic degree, you then work as a trainee under the supervision of a genetic counselor. Some of those trainee position can be paid, some of them can be unpaid. As a trainee, some people join for a PhD. But so basically, then you log in that portfolio, you log the number of hours and the number of patients you perform counseling on. Okay, and this is under supervision, so your supervisor will also have their own comment as your performance, and then you build this portfolio and look at the GCRB website as the requirements of that portfolio. So how many hours of training that has to be logged in that portfolio, and so all that logged hours, all the details of your counseling practice as a trainee, along with your supervisors or mentors feedback with it, together becomes a portfolio that you submit to GCRB to get accredited, and it can either get approved or rejected. If it is approved, then you are an accredited genetic counselor. If it is not approved, you can give it another go. So this is like a standard accreditation process. Yeah, but please look at GCRB website. They have all the details of different routes of getting to the portfolio stage. Okay. Yes, you want to incorporate as much outside experience as possible. Yes, that's exactly it. Yeah. And all the NHS hospitals, so like Manchester in our region, Salford Royal, Manchester NHS Trust, all of them have employed genetic counselors on board. So you can get in touch with them to know whether they have a position to take you as a trainee. And again, those contacts you can get from the GCRB website. So you can ask them for any region. Yeah, okay. I'm glad to hear that, Adam. Okay, Bahare, you are the only one now left in the call. So if you have also, you are also satisfied, then is there any collaboration with other universities abroad in Spain or Italy? Well, this answer is yes and no, because the collaborations does not happen at the uni level. Collaboration happens in the individual researcher level, right? So uni is not in collaboration, but in so like I am collaborating with people from India, I'm collaborating with people from Vietnam, right? So it does not mean the uni is in collaboration. So but why do you ask? Is it relevant for genetic counseling?
Hi.
Hi, how
Uh,
are you? You can turn your camera also if you want.
no, it's okay.
I'll switch off the recording if I can. I don't know if I can. I can't switch it off. Anyway, so just keep in mind that it is being recorded, whatever you are saying. Yeah.
Right, okay.
Okay. So
My
tell me.
question about the collaborating, because I was looking for courses outside the England.
Yeah.
So I just wanted to know you have um
No,
any
so a course, if you're thinking about a taught course, like a taught masters, right? Because you will be finishing your undergraduate degree, right? If you're thinking of a taught masters, that usually never happens on collaboration, because you know is the problem of how they will manage the finance, right? What happens in collaboration, as part of collaboration, is you can do your placement, you can do your dissertation in another lab, right? And that can be part of collaboration. Okay, of course it has to be approved by your host university, but a course is usually not run in collaboration. Only exceptions I can think of is that we have a program from an university in the US, where for 1 year people come to Salford, and from Salford students go to US for 1 year, and that module they do is then part of their program. So that happens, but for genetic counseling particularly, nothing like that exists at the moment.
right? Okay, yeah, this is why I just asking.
Yeah,
I knew the student is exchange from US to here.
so that, yeah, so that happens, but that's not on genetic counseling.
Right.
Yeah,
And I have another question about the internship. Um,
yeah.
is it
Internship in genetic counseling path that I was talking about.
yeah,
Okay, tell me, what is the question?
if we have to have the certificate first, or is it any kind of course that we can, for example, register
Uh,
ourselves
Are
there?
you talking about the caring role?
No, no, no.
No, the internship. Okay. So if you are asking about the MSc in genetic counseling, right? So in those programs, which is a three years part-time program at the moment, in those programs, the last 6 to 8 months is your dissertation, which is part of the program, like you have done for your undergraduate, which you normally do for a taught masters as well. So that you find a place that can be in anywhere in the world, doesn't have to be in the UK. I'm talking about the Cardiff program. You find a lab, a genetic counselor that will give you a placement for your dissertation. So that is part of the MSc. But the internship towards your portfolio is after your MSc, right? So
Yeah,
after you complete this accredited master's degree, then to build your portfolio, you work as a trainee. And how long you work as a trainee varies. And again, look for the details in the GCRB website. It varies depending on what credits you already have. It depends on the current status of your portfolio and how many more hours you require. So, but it is never less than 1 year. Sometimes it is up to 3 years. Most commonly, I understand from genetic counselors that it is ideally 2 years after the master's degree. Okay.
right,
And these apprenticeship positions can be paid or unpaid.
right. Okay. So
Okay.
is with these together is around 5 years.
Yes. So that's sometimes people get discouraged because of that. But yeah, of course, yeah, as you can understand, but because the master's degree is part-time, so you can do a job on the side. And if you think about your whole career, which might be 30-40 years,
Mm,
then investment of 5 years is not a bad idea, as long as you can financially
yeah.
afford to wait. So 5 years is nothing if you look at the whole career ahead of you. This is very rewarding, but obviously I understand 5 years is a long time
Mm.
um, to kind of invest in this.
Okay, thank you very much for
Yeah,
all information,
you're
and I
welcome.
thank you.
Yeah. I hope to hear from you from time to time.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye bye.
Goodbye.